What are we specking again? Catota and Pacetry.
Yeah, so we
Correct.
have the Patron Warrior for Catota and Shaman. Which kind of Shaman?
Are we live?
Yeah, we should be. Yeah.
We're jumping off, guys. A little rocky start. Thanks for joining us at THL. This is John Riverde, joined with
Dan Donut Hertzko.
and finally we have Andy Martin or
The great
Andy Rogers.
Andy
Thank you.
Rogers. Right, excellent. Joined with us, and then of course in the cast,
Two-time league MVP.
right in the production booth, we also have Eric or Necro Havoc and Rich or Jet Ninja. Anyway, we're jumping into this game. We got Pacetry, one of the all-stars from last week, against Catota, both of the rank 1 players on their teams. Pacetry, of course, from Noob Central, and Catota from Xynergy. So right off the bat, we see Patron from Catota and Pacetry bringing the Shaman back. What do you think of this matchup, Andy?
It's a weird one. I mean, you don't ever see a lot of Shaman. I played it a bit. It has some ways to deal with the big Patron board with Lightning Storm, but you kind of have to burst them down, though. You don't... it's hard to bet against Patron in almost anything, and there's too many things that activate Patrons in that deck.
Right. And
How did this fare against? He was up against Slimsh last week, right?
yeah, and last week he had one of the most epic runner top decks of the Azure Drake into Lightning Storm.
Yeah.
And was able to clear Slimsh's Patron board. We see he has the combo this time. He also has the spell damage totem out. So
I wouldn't be surprised if he holds on to that for dear life this time.
right, I think he will. It is tough because Patron can just simply OTK if there's not enough pressure, and especially with the 2 zombie chows, while they kind of feign pressure, they're gonna heal for 10 health eventually. So Pacetry is definitely on the clock.
And there's not exactly a board against Patron that you need to control.
Right. So we see Catota just take out the Despite, and that's going to easily take out this Totem Golem. Definitely one of the major improvements of the Shaman deck. Oh, that's Bloodlust!
Yes.
That's a way to accelerate the game, and is that just...
That's a whole lot of damage next turn.
And he gets the taunt to him, which will...
Keep the zombie chows alive.
So he'll have effectively...
12, 16, 19.
19
Yeah.
So...
Oh, so the slam, he actually unknowingly just saved
his life.
his own.
Unless
I
he doesn't
wonder if,
use
if he calculates it,
Despite.
but he might not use the Despite
He
here.
might not. He might be trying to set up the...
What is
Well,
it?
actually, he has no patrons in here.
Yeah, he's got to use it.
Oh, man.
Oh, no. Oh.
So, Catota, without knowing it, he's like the guy who just sort of ducks at the park, and there's a baseball just goes
Right.
flying over his head. So Catota somehow slips past, and that was really close. But he doesn't have much to follow up on this turn.
Unfortunately, Pacetry doesn't really either. Another Tuskar Totemic would would put him in the exact same position. He's just going to try to get as much on the board as possible.
If he can set up the Bloodlust, because, Catota's going to drop ET next turn. And so if he can set up this Bloodlust...
Catota's hovering that War Song.
I don't like that. If he's going to play a minion, I would probably play the Frothing Berserker. I'd probably Battle Rage, because, you want to card it to it. Definitely then it's something that the Shaman has to answer.
Right.
Mhm.
And
Well,
the Civic Swamp...
This is a strange choice. Maybe he is worried about the health. I don't...
Yeah, I think Catota does suspect Bloodlust. He didn't see it last week. We didn't see the Bloodlust in the match last week, so he wouldn't know from watching or studying the match. But yeah, he may suspect it. It's not that uncommon in mid-range shamans these days. And there's the
Nice.
That's the card Dan was looking for. So Pacetry removes the ever dangerous Warsong Commander. And
So what's going to happen? He's going to ET here. Everything gets cheap, but he doesn't really have any way to activate.
he's not ETing. He's removing.
He's not ETing.
Wow. So he's playing right around the Bloodlust, and that's gonna save him.
It's heads up play.
Yeah. Of course, this Tuskar could have something to say about it.
Tuskar Creeper is... Yeah, this is great. This is a great play.
Well, he's going to lose the spell damage, which is unfortunate.
But we don't see any patrons over there, so
And that's the second death
Really
spike, so that's
necessary right now.
pretty big. Pastry's got to start.
He can't do the totemic and the creeper, but I think just in the interest of bodies, I would do the totem and the creeper.
Well, they both provide
get
the
you
same,
two bodies.
and I kind of like the Tuskar more. I think he's a little scared of putting the creeper out because of its patron synergy, if you will, or anti-synergy.
Yeah, but the mana's fine. There's nothing to worry about with the
right,
Warsaw.
sure. And that sets up lethal, right? 12
Yeah,
plus.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's lethal.
It's got 2 battle rages.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So-
No,
that's
yeah,
it.
that's just gonna be it.
Wow, this is incredible. Pastry.
Wait, unless he executes the.
Day 1, the Bloodlust is the best.
Wait,
game.
wait. Oh, he's got
Oh,
to
wait.
execute the zombie chow.
Did
He-
Pastry just? But did Pastry
He
just
said
tell
well
him
played.
lethal by saying well played? Pastry
Yeah.
cracked the lethal.
Will he
He
execute?
gave him the clue. If he executes that zombie chow, he's still in the game.
And this is huge because
and needle.
if Catota doesn't execute this, he's clearly dead. But if he does, he suddenly has. I mean, he picked up the patron. He's got the ET discount. He's got the frothing. So he's got all the pieces of the puzzle. He even has the.
I mean, yeah, he's gonna draw 2 sets of cards on double battle rage. Like,
Yeah, he's got all the pieces of the puzzle.
oh my god, he's sick. Oh, wait, is that?
Is that enough? 4 plus 9, 13.
No, he doesn't.
So Tuskar
saved him
Totemic
too.
won't save him either because he can't
no,
fit in
no.
the
It
hat
could
mana.
give him.
He can't fit the mana. He
Yeah.
can't play Tuskar
Oh,
Totemic.
he can't
So
play
this
both.
might just be the game. Catota playing around Bloodlust perfectly.
Well, I think it's a mistake of Pastry with the well played.
The
He
well
shouldn't
played
have
did
said
telegraph. I
anything.
completely agree. I think that was a little bit of hubris. And now Pastry is actually in a lot of trouble and probably going to lose this game. These patrons are going to clear this entire board, and his Bloodlust is going to be.
I mean, at 8 mana, here comes Warsong, Patron, and a Berserker.
You played with Frothing now.
Freak, double battle
you played
rage.
with
I think he's
Frothing.
just going to double bather it. Take full
Whatever.
control.
Yeah.
It's oh man.
Wow. So because Catota looked like he was going to end his turn, Pastry says well played, and Catota paused, and then he went straight into the execute, and that's Venture. I mean, I think that's a game. I don't see how the Shaman can really.
No, now Patron's doing patron thing.
No, he doesn't have any card draw. His hand is pretty much. He can clear this board, you know, if he grabs a spell power totem. But yeah, this is Patron's going to regain all of its cards.
Yep.
It's why it's the best deck right now. It's too good.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. I mean, I love to see the underdog, aka the Shaman, win, but it looks like this is game, and that's really sad when the Shaman's at 30 health. He's calling game, but I just don't see any way for Pastry to come back. That being said,
Lightning Storm wipes the board right now.
well, the War Song.
This is his last Warsong. He blew the other one.
Oh, that's true. So similar to Slimsh, he may lose. Well, if he doesn't lose the War Strong, it's huge.
This is huge. If he wars,
because he can probably just set up an OTK.
is it worth the second lightning? He didn't do it, but would it be worth a second lightning?
I don't
storm?
think so. I think it's the only way you respond to another patron board. So Catota, Dan makes an excellent point. Without the attack capabilities of the War Song, the Frothing Berserkers are suddenly quite innocuous. Of course, Catota is just drawing literally his entire deck. He is at 8 cards left, and it looks like he's going to continue to draw. And Pastry could do what he did to Slimsh, where essentially he was able to remove all of the patron threats and then slowly rebuild some semblance of a board.
I mean, don't count out the Thunderbluff Aspirant. Is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's a great-
I mean, he's insane. He'll take a board back, no problem.
So definitely
he's-
premature of
he
me
gets out of control.
to say that the game's over. With the Lightning Storm in his hand, and if he can get guaranteed spell power, he will be able to respond to a huge board. And now Catota has lost all ability to charge up, the Frothings and the War Songs. Or I'm sorry, the Frothing and the Patron. So Catota playing the Frothing last there. Slight misplay perhaps.
Seems like it.
Yeah, I mean it's just 1 damage. He is threatening. I mean this, and Pacetry doesn't have a clear answer to this. Urshock
Hey.
is a good one. Pacetry does need to start rebuilding his board though.
Uncompelling totem.
Yeah, he's not getting great luck with the totems. But Urshock's really good. So Catota down to ostensibly 2 more threats. And that is Patron and his
Berserker.
Frothing. And I think what Katota's going to do here is he's just going to try to overwhelm Pacetry without... Oh! He has an execute though.
He has an execute, and he didn't already attack with the. Yeah, he's got a full turn.
Yeah,
He's
he
fine.
can easily kill this. Okay. He's going to continue to draw, which is... He gets the...
Not
feature.
right
I'm not sure
now,
what the
okay.
plan is with these. Especially, he's got another whirlwind now.
He's got the patrons. He's got 3 cards left to Pastry's 15. So he's outdrawn him by 12 cards. On yeah. And there's the second Frothing. This is literally... Pastry needs a way to answer this, or he will... I think Catota could set up the OTK next
I think a
turn.
lightning storm and a bloodlust is a perfectly valid thing to do if you need to, because then all that's left is. I mean, he's almost out of his entire
Well,
deck and just has patrons.
The patrons
I guess, but then you can't handle it.
are... Yeah, and I think he's really worried about the patrons. And this is really unfortunate. No Rockbiter here. No, really no great answer to this Frothing. And, I mean, we can see in his hand, like, the whirlwind effects, there's too many of them, and Catota should be able to OTK with that live Frothing. So Pastry doesn't opt to remove it by Lightning Storm and Bloodlust, then I think he's just dead. And I think he realizes that. Andy, would you go to that great lengths to remove it?
I wonder.
That's all you got. You can't do anything else. Like,
In this
you
situation,
can't be greedy because you know you're probably going to die. So you just got to do what you can.
I have a question. Why not just leave it at 1? And then he can't do any whirlwind effect. Is that insane?
Almost out of cards.
I mean, it's a thought, but it's still gonna hit you, and it gets bigger if its minions hit other things. So
this is interesting.
So this is a rare situation where Catota is going to try to win, and I think Patron is extremely capable of doing so, of just sort of winning with just the patrons and no Frothings. He's going to set up a huge patrons, and Pastry really has no response. I mean, he has no Lightning Storm. I don't even know what he could wish for at this point.
Elemental destruction.
Elemental Destruction. There you go. That's the answer. And if this fails, Catota will absolutely lose. If for somehow Pastry is able to clear this board, of course, Hex is not going to do much. Yeah, I can't. It's too bad. I think Pastry played it pretty well. The well played was premature and potentially may have lost in this game.
It's not necessarily over yet, though, because if he can't make the ghoul explode, he's out of. I'm not sure about that. Because I don't think the concern is armor, because if you can deal with the patrons, then you can come back.
Katota's sitting at 28 health. Fatigue isn't going to matter for a while. So I don't agree with hexing the Armor Smith. And I certainly don't agree with playing the Creeper.
I'm not sure I like that either.
Oh,
was
that did work. Wow, he played
Wow.
both.
Interesting.
So this is gonna go to Catota. It's gonna take not many turns. He's got 12, 13 damage.
15 cards left for Pastry, yeah.
So Pastry could just play board control now. He's got a full board of... Or Catota can just play board control here. And I don't even
just
think
go
he messes...
face.
Yeah, I don't
Go
think he
face.
even mess with the
no
spider. Just go
Yeah.
space. And he's gonna have next turn lethal.
Your opponent's got no cards. Like,
Man,
this is damn.
kind of heartbreaking. Thunderbuff Valiant, not enough. That's too bad. Pastry, unfortunately, unable to pull this out, and
Heads up play by Catota really early on.
Catota, yeah, Catota played extremely conservative, and it paid off really, really well. So Catota takes game 1. Sorry we jumped right into that game. We had some technical difficulties. Let me go over their lineups really quick. Pastry, again, bringing the same lineup he brought last week. He's bringing Mage, Paladin, and Shaman. Of course, we just saw the Shaman. Catota is bringing Warrior, and it was Patron. We just saw that, and Hunter Mage. So we're gonna see 2 mages. So that's pretty exciting. Yeah. So we're gonna jump into that game shortly. It looks like we're gonna kick this up, and yeah. So Hunter and Mage coming from Catota. What do you? I mean, Pastry. Can Shaman beat either of those decks? I guess Shaman can do okay against Tempo Mage, perhaps.
Yeah, it's not bad. Hunter, it's kind of a weak matchup, but you know, with Bloodlust in there, if you get a big enough board and you Bloodlust early, you can beat Hunter. So it's the weakest of his 3 decks.
You do have
So he's going to be searching for a victory with it.
the Hex is pretty incredible against this high main as well.
Right, Hex is good against high main. We see Pastry switching to Mage, and he is got Tempo Mage, and Catota's got the mid-range Hunter.
Which
Go-
one's tempo? And
Yes.
then mech?
Yes. Going to what Andy said, I think, yeah, Pastry last week was able to get the first win with his Shaman against the Patron, so we didn't see Shaman have to really work hard last week, but I agree. I think Shaman might have some difficulty.
Might come back last.
Yeah, and this is a really bad hand for Pastry and an incredible hand for Catota.
Greetings,
Yeah.
traveler.
So-
See the Stranglethorn Tiger making a comeback.
Yeah, this
I
is.
feel like that's the Stranglethorn Tiger's only there so that he can get pulled by the King Zealot. So it's not necessarily the best thing he wants to see. What did he just? Is that a Rhino?
Tundra Rhino.
Jeez.
Yeah, this is gonna be, I think, a really quick game too. This mid range is just gonna get out of control, and Pastry is an atrocious hand. Tempo Mage, of course, is one of the most unstoppable decks if it gets those early mana worms into, you know, Apprentice into the
Flamewaker.
Flamewaker. But with this hand, that Flame Strike's gonna do a lot more than if he even makes it to Flame Strike turn. Honestly.
Oh, there's Dr. Boom.
Oh
picked up.
no!
Man.
Wow. Everything's coming up Catota. on the
Yeah,
beginning of this
Catota.
match.
Oh man, the
Yikes.
dead draws. When you're playing Arcane Insect first as a Tempo Mage, that's your first card played. That is, and he draws into Secret. This is just one of the worst hands I've ever seen, and he knows it too. All his burn, a lot of late range minions. You don't want to even play the Secrets. You want your Mad Scientist, of course, to draw those out. This is
What do you do here? I guess you play the Mad Scientist. Probably what I would do. Looks like you might develop the bow. But, yeah, Scientist is good here.
Yeah, this is.
Oh yeah, this is just way too much. Like, there's no way
On
you deal
portal.
with this.
I like Pilot Shredder here.
The unstable East Portal.
Yeah.
You're getting really desperate if you play the unstable portal. Yeah, you gotta just play the piloted shredder, but it's just gonna get frozen back,
Well,
and more face damage is gonna come in.
Catota has a lot of potential options here. He could play the freezing trap, and that's just gonna be so rough on Pastry's already beleaguered tempo. So Pastry, or Catota rather, is going to push 8 damage this turn, and Pastry literally can do nothing about it, as this Shredder is frozen in place, and he really can't even attack because it's gonna enable the bow. There's the minion he wants
There
to
he
stop
is.
and with the coin in Katota's hand, he can do so much. He can play a high main. He can play the Stranglethorn.
He played it already to get out the bow last turn.
The coin.
Oh, he did. Oh, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
he used the coin last turn.
So
He could use either of his very viable 5-drops.
and if you set up that Tundra Rhino, that's a live high main, and I hear it hit hard. It's yeah.
I think
This-
the Tiger go face with everything again. Like,
Yeah, I think Rhino and just get rid of that Lotheb is perfectly fine. Because that just does not feel like a value fireball deck.
This is like
Yeah,
the easiest game of Katota's life. I mean, does he just have next turn lethal? 5 plus 3, 8 plus 6. He has exact lethal.
Yeah, well, unless he fireballs him, yeah, you fireball that Rhino for certain. You play the little Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Portaling last might be a
Yeah,
slight
maybe.
misplay.
Unsatisfying fireball.
Yeah. And there's
Ooh,
Some fish.
there's
big money.
Or
What?
not totem.
Heyo.
Oh.
the comeback. Well, unless he's one of those weird tempo mages that plays polymorph, he's gonna need a
Gonna
lot
have a
more
bad
fireballs. Yeah. Yeah. This is just really rough. Catota, I guess you're just playing high main. Is it ever wrong to not play high?
Yeah, you would definitely play the high main here. The question is whether you take out that totem. If you don't take out the totem, then he can clear the board with a flame strike.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would
So-
probably take it out. Of course, leaving the bow. Use the Elec and take out the
I feel
totem.
like you have to take care of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So Katota's gonna do that. I mean, this game. If it wasn't one-sided before, it's about to become much more so. These high mains and Dr. Boom is just
Oh, you got a Frostbolt.
That mirror entity is
not.
really useful potentially. It's like the best thing. I mean,
It's literally
against
yeah.
that hand.
I really would try to get the water elemental out. I mean, it's just so awkward. Yeah, I guess you could water elemental, frostbolts to stall, trade one of your guys in, get the other guy sent back, and hope and pray.
Yeah.
That's probably the play I would go with. He's gonna go with.
Gonna freeze the save.
All right. All right.
Oh, I guess.
Oh.
This is aggressive, considering he's already used
It's a
one
bold
fireball.
strategy.
One's out on me.
Really bold. He's gonna go for the race, and with one fireball out of the way, he's gonna need basically Catota to play not the owl. And if I'm Catota, I would just play the owl.
I don't understand that, I guess.
That was a really aggressive play. I guess he's betting that maybe Catota will misplay the.
He did also miss potential lethal. He should have played the animal companion first. If he played the animal companion. Oh wait a minute. Did he?
What?
He top deck.
Well, there's no card that Pacetry could top deck to get lethal though.
Fireball?
No, because he already used.
No, he's already played 2.
Yeah, he's used both. He's used both.
Oh.
So,
Oh,
Well played.
but can he clear the? No. Oh, no. There's no totem that would help him.
Did you bring some fish?
yeah,
Yeah.
this is just game.
That's the best totem.
Potentially a big mistake from Catota because he could have gone for the animal companion, and if he would have gone, I think either Huffer or Leok, he could have won with hero power and both minions going to the face. So misplay on his turn, but he does win out. He was so far ahead anyway that he could make mistakes.
I mean, sure, it was a misplay, but at the same time, knowing 2 fireballs were gone, unless he's like playing Ice Lance or something, which is absurd, it's pretty unlikely to ever come back to bite you. Anyway, so Catota jumping out to 2-1 lead,
Uh-oh.
and he's going to try to finish it off with Freeze Mage. And if there's any deck that could
That John
potentially
likes
get
to talk about knowing a lot about. It's the Freeze Mage.
well, but and that's true, but
Get ready.
it could. This is a deck that actually could struggle against Pastry's lineup.
I find that Freeze Mage struggles against just about everything, but that's my personal experience.
Oh, there's the 1-drop.
There's the 1-drop. So this hand is a lot
This is-
more.
yeah.
a lot more reminiscence of what we know about Tempo Mage. Tempo Mage is definitely well suited to take on Freeze Mage. Paladin and Shaman, especially Shaman, will be a lot less so.
Well, he does have the Bloodlust, so he can. I didn't see any crackles or any bursts, which that would hurt him for certain.
Right, and this ping to the Mana Worm and no 2-drop is really probably kind of sending Pastry a message that this is probably Freeze Mage. Missing a 2-drop like that.
Would you have just played the Doomsayer?
No, because it's so good against Mirror Entity. Like, I would probably hold on to it a little bit. Also, the Mana Worm, not threatening much. Pastry got a little greedy, not pointing out the Flamewaker there, or at least the Effigy or something. I mean, Effigy is really bad on the 1-drop, I guess.
No, yeah, there's no way you wouldn't play the Effigy. I think that's right. You know, you want to save the Flamewaker for some spells. Like, you want to have him go off.
Well, this
It
Flame
gets
Strike's
max
pretty...
value out of it.
Pastry's hand is kind of clunky, to be honest, and Catota's is not. Catota's is very nice. He's got the Mad Scientist, he's got the Acolyte, he's got the Burn, he's got a lot, so...
He's got Intel already.
Yeah, Lothab's great, though. So Pastry here is going to try to,
Fire Lord.
I guess, Frostbolt Face, or Flame Cannon, huh? I kind of like Frostbolting Face a little more.
Me too, especially, I think at this point, you know it's a free... You certainly do at this point, but the Flame Cannon, given that there's only going to be one minion down, I feel like it's really nice to have that 4 damage against the Doomsayer.
Right, and Catota with 2, 4, 6, 8 cards. The Acolyte could come down, draw him 1, he could go back to 8. He could get overdrawn. 9, 10. He could get overdrawn. Oh, he doesn't ping it. Okay, so now he... 2, 4, 6, 7. He still could if he could get over. But,
So it's too early to play the Loatheb, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't go for that now.
like-
You want to save that for a turn that you can potentially kill them on the next one. Lock
like this.
them out of trying to stop you.
usually, of course, you learn very early in your Hearthstone school that you draw first, but of course you don't want that Flamewaker to draw for Catota, so he does that correctly. Pastry, I mean, these Flameworkers can do a lot of damage if left kind of on the board. So I'm wondering if Catota is going to address them, although he does draw the ET, and this is a great hand to ET. Catota can just ET here, and then just go straight into Anto, and just win the game without Alex. And that's kind of how you have to win against a
Tempo Mage.
because they're really fast, and Pastry's gonna actually have to kind of hope this Flamewaker does some work
Well,
here.
you can, I mean, Flamewaker and Frost.
You could play another second one.
ET.
You can go for...
Yeah, second Flamewalker into Sorcerers,
Apprentice,
into Frostbolt.
I think
seems.
it's pretty unlikely that won't get the job done.
Why not play the Sorcerers?
I don't know. I guess you don't want to overextend too much.
I
And what does it
disagree.
really get you? I guess, yeah.
Well,
'Cause of one
Catota
Blizzard and your-
has a ton of burn, and he's got Antonitis and the Ice Block, so Catota here can just really... I guess he can heal and Ice Block, and even throw down a Doom. I mean, he can just sort of stall one turn and then go straight into... and he's going to heal an Ice Block. I like that a lot. He's just going to stall one turn, and then he's going to go into his Anto turn next turn, and he can go from there. Dropping the Mirror would get in the way of that.
Yeah, but he could easily just drop the Doomsayer.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's got both Doomsayers.
Yeah, and Pastry, of course, doesn't really have a good read on that. That's hard to predict. And
How many fireballs do you look to get, though, from Archmage? Like, in that case, you'd only get 2 if that's what he's going to do.
7 plus 12 plus 7.
I don't know if that's... So you'd have 3.
A lot of Flamewalker damage.
Yeah, the Flamewakers are adding up. And playing the Mirror Entity is generally... when I'm playing Tempo Mage, I generally don't even play it ever against a Freeze Mage.
That's
I-
No, it's Effigy.
I really like the effigy because it may give Catota the wrong.
Yep.
And Katota's going to go for the
Bullseye.
Doomsayer, and it's not going to work. Although Pastry doesn't really have a response.
Why would you? I don't think I like that. Wait, what?
Wow, that's out of order.
Nice.
Well,
Well, he's guaranteeing a clear board.
I guess he really wanted to make
You can safely mirror entity now.
You can mirror entity.
Oh yeah.
Flame strike and really hope that this works out.
I like this a lot.
Oh, this is 1-2. Oh yeah. No, it's
No,
1 minute.
Oh.
No.
One off, and this one card coming from Dancing Swords is pretty big considering the Freeze Mage is down to 4 cards. That is heartbreaking.
Also a mistake. You should have gone face there.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
That's totally true. And now Catota is feeling 0 pressure with Ice Block up. He is going to be able to go nuts.
Do you go for the 2 fireballs?
I don't see why you
I
don't.
guess. Yeah. But there's no answer to
And you have
Antonitis.
3 fireballs in your hand. Yeah.
I wonder.
You also don't have a whole. I guess he's still at 30 health, so you could maybe try to. You know best, John, but you could maybe try to stall until you get Alex.
13 cards is a lot of stall. I like this play a lot more.
Yeah, it's gonna go for it.
Yeah, and knowing the hands, this is definitely the correct play for Catota. And Pastries might just get 3-0'd, to be completely honest. This is...
That's really too bad. That mirror entity.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
And that's... I mean, he can drop the Lotheb here and try to, like, stall, but it's not going to do much.
And he could still
So-
count.
I don't
No
see
time for
Sylvanas.
games.
Not...
Not gonna do anything.
This is much worse than Lotheb here.
Just a turn late on that mirror entity.
Because the fireballs... He can just go... He can guarantee lethal, you know.
Well, yeah, he freezes the Sylvanas here and goes 2 more.
Yeah, if you create... If
2
you
fireballs to the
on the
dome.
Lotheb, he only creates 1 fireball, and then you can hope to kill Sylvan or Antonitis next turn. Unfortunately, Pastry just with terrible luck and actually some extremely heads-up plays from Catota. Katota's just right off the bat is going to 3-0 Pastry unless we see an unstable portal into Spell Slinger into Tree of Life. I don't know.
Well, he's gonna be able to steal the Antonitis.
It doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter because, yeah, he can.
Yeah, you need a Kazan is the only thing that would save him.
There's 4 fireballs in that hand. And
Unstable portal into
Well
Kazan
played.
Yeah.
would be the next play.
Pastry, unfortunately, is going to fall, and that was a really quick
Unexpected.
3-0. Very unexpected. His Shaman game was so close so many times. Yeah, the Hunter game he just had the worst hand ever, and that's unfortunate. We don't, I love seeing the innovation from Pastry, but yeah, so that's game 1, and that is Xynergy getting on the board. A big win from Catota.